Alright, so this is the battle in which Marius faces off with the Cimbri Horde. And it actually is from expansion number 2, from Commands and Colors Ancients. I have the original editions of this. I think the battle's called Vercellae. And got a huge army of Germanic warriors, auxiliaries, and a big chunk of cavalry. And I've seldom seen a meltdown quite like this. But the Romans absolutely trounced these guys. You know, when you're playing Commands and Colors, if you don't have the dice cooperate with you, you know, it's going to be tough sledding. If you have good cards, but the dice don't work, you can still win the game, but it's going to be hard. When you have the dice working for you and you don't have the cards, you can still win the game that way. I've seen that happen. They can be frustrating, but boy, you can still get her done. But if you're like the Cimbri in this battle, where you didn't have the cards and the dice just hated your guts the whole game, they were lucky actually to get 2 kills on the Romans. They almost got skunked. 8 flags to nothing. I haven't seen a meltdown like this one in a while, but basically what happened was Marius starts back here, and you're kind of expecting a big cavalry charge at some point to, you know, overrun your archers that don't really have a way to escape or anything. Just chew up and get a couple flags there. Huge horde of infantry that basically can overwhelm any one of the 2 divisions in the center and on the right. And they can hold their own against Marius' legions over here. Marius is strongest on his left. But boy, oh boy, in this particular battle, the Cimbri just couldn't buy a card for this section. Couldn't do anything with it. They were able to get a line command, which allowed them to move a huge amount of infantry, and start to chip away at Sulla's army and Catulus's division in the center. But at the end of the day, boy, Marius absolutely got the ball rolling and crushed. The Cimbri they started off well. I mean, they didn't have the cards, but they started off well with the dice, just chipping away with ranged fire on the Romans, and it got to a place where it's like, well, we got to do something. We can't just sit back and let them nickel and dime us to death because we don't have the reserves like the Cimbri do. So I started advancing with Marius, and got some good licks in early on. And then when the Cimbri finally got a chance to make an attack, they couldn't buy a hit. And whenever the Romans attacked them and the Cimbri got the battle back, they just couldn't get a hit. And the clinching moment was when Marius had a cavalry charge card, which allowed him to move both 2 units of cavalry. And those 2 cavalry absolutely crushed it. They destroyed all 4 of the Cimbri cavalry. And they were at full strength even, and just really good dice. And in addition, they also killed the leader that was stacked with one of them. So they got like 4 flags in 1 card play. So half the victory goal in 1 card play. And from there, it was just a matter of cleaning up. So there you go. Sometimes it happens that way. More often than not, my experience with Commands and Colors Ancients is it goes down to the very last die roll. And the battles are pretty tight. This one here, I'm going to reset it because I feel like this should be a much closer battle than how it turned out. But I just thought I'd show you the aftermath of an absolute disaster for the Germanic tribes, which ironically enough is historic. It's actually quite a lot like what happened historically. And it never ceases to amaze me how much this system can actually produce results that look a lot like the historic record with a very simple set of rules, very elegant system. Highly recommend Commands and Colors Ancients.